Hello, bonsai, 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 woohoo! Welcome to this week's weekly roundup video on Module 1. We're going to be going through some learning outcomes, and I'm going to give you a few tips and tricks on Canvas that some people need a little bit of help with. So let's go straight onto Canvas right now and have a look what I'm talking about. So we can see, wow, look at these recent announcements that Mr. Bolland has posted for us. So you can see there's a practical next week. Have a look at that announcement on what to look out for. We've got Module 1's learning outcomes. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But first of all, I just want to give you guys a little bit of a tip here. We have lessons on a Wednesday and a Thursday. You guys know this now from Module 1. And what some of you are not realizing is you actually have to complete all these tasks before the lesson starts. So here's the lesson 1.6. You've got to do 1.1 all the way through to 1.5 before the lesson. Now, if you've got a question in 1.1, you can write that down on a piece of paper, bring it to the lesson, ask it to me, I'll answer it for you. Some other things that we need to realize here is that some of the exercises, you're not just skimming through this stuff, guys. You're actually trying to practice your answers to these questions. So these questions are not just, I'm not just sucking them out my thumb. They're taken from past exam papers, so they're really, really important. Other things that we mentioned this week, we obviously had this live session, this teaching session on diffusion and the assessment on diffusion. This one is really important for this week. Okay, I'd focus a lot of your energy on 1.7's assessment. Then in the last section, you've got notes recapping the entire module. All the things I talked about in the live sessions are in these notes. And of course, you can go and watch that breakout session where we spoke a lot about those exam type questions, really tricky ones in there. I'm going to speak a little bit more about this and where to access those questions that I did in that PowerPoint. Module 1's glossary, all the key terms needed for that module. Let's go into these announcements. Oh, so fantastic. Look at this. Module 1 outcomes. You go click here and you dive in, you click this little link, it's going to take you to this Google Sheet. Okay. Here is a really important task. I'm just going to go back to my video. Hello, everybody. Focus, focus, focus. Okay, here come the module 1 outcomes. Really important here, guys. What did we learn about this week? Define the 3 states of matter in terms of the arrangement, movement, and energy of the particles. Don't only just say solids, liquids, gases. You're going to have to know what the particles look like. You're going to have to know how they move and lots of other stuff. Go into your Prezi to find that out. Interconversions of the 3 states of matter. Don't forget, we've got evaporation, we've got boiling, we've got freezing, we've got subliming, and we've got deposition as well. Go and look at that for the different examples. Explain them in terms of the particles as well. Okay? How do these things get achieved? Don't forget about the difference between evaporation and boiling as well. What have we got here? I talked about the movement and energy of the particles within these interconversions. Then we investigated some experiments on diffusion and experiments. No, there were 2 experiments with diffusion. There was one with the bromine gas and the one with a little tube with the hydrochloric acid and ammonia, and they combine together to form this little white substance in the middle. You need to go over that in the breakout session. And this reflection is what we're doing right now. You can do this at home as well. Reflect on each of these and really ask yourself the question, do I get it? Can I explain it to my little brother or my little sister in really basic English? Can I use the glossary terms to then explain it in very good scientific language? Please go through these learning outcomes and ask yourself these important questions. We really want you to get to number 6 here. That's why it's in bold. We really want you to reflect on those outcomes. Excellent stuff here. Okay, now next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back here into the home page to make sure I've covered everything. Okay, all those announcements have been covered. Last little section, guys. In the announcements, I'm going to make another announcement where this video will be, and I'm going to drop a link to the exam type questions that I covered in the breakout session on Thursday this week. So that's breakout session down here, 1.9. I went through a whole bunch of questions. Here they are. Here are those questions. Okay, all those questions. 1, 2, there's that diffusion experiment. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now, we didn't quite cover all of these questions in question 9, so I really want you this weekend or anytime next week, if you've got a spare moment, go and add your answers here, and I will be releasing the answers at some point next week. Okay, so that's pretty much everything for week 1, module 1. It's been so awesome. Well done for all the assignment submissions, all the quizzes. Keep working hard, and see you next week.